Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the opening round of Cone Racing League Tier 3 here in Australia. The sun is out, it's time for Q1. I am joined here by Mike.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Unfortunately,
Also known as Derouge.
exactly, also known as CPI Doors. Unfortunately, he hasn't joined the session yet, but that will come very soon. So we should be seeing the first couple of drivers heading out in the next couple of minutes. And as I say that, it is indeed the first Haas driver of Marconi going out onto the pits. And it will be interesting to see what lap times the drivers here can produce for us today.
Are you looking forward to the season, Boompje?
I'm definitely looking forward to the season. Should be a very close field. And with a lot of competitive drivers who've shown their capability before in Cone here. I think everyone
Absolutely.
also raced here in season 5 last time out. So we know
There's a lot of
what to
returning
expect.
faces. Dragon on Speed, Marconi. And also new faces like the infamous Wild Dog. And obviously the tier champion from last season, which was Hedgehog, obviously, who won in the final race against AFL.
Yeah, he gained his promotion to Tier 3 with the championship along with AFL, in fact.
Fully deserved.
It definitely was. As champion probably deserved to be promoted up until Tier 3. And along with him a couple of other drivers from the academy, as it formerly was known. Now Tier 4 making their way up to Tier 3. The likes of Wild Dog, as you mentioned, indeed. As well, and going there. Starting his first lap of the season. Just making his way to turn 3 now, going down to the second gear, short circuiting to third to get that. Just to get the power down and make sure you don't get a lot of wheel spin. Slight lift here. Can go flat out, but if Q1 you don't want to take unnecessary risks.
Absolutely true. I've had it happen to me.
Isn't the worst option.
This is actually the tier I joined in when I joined CRL.
Wow.
2 seasons
And look
ago,
where you are now. And we see as well a first retirement of the season already into 1. That is Tomo Tiptop in the McLaren, who is squashed out. So that is qualifying over for him.
That is so
before
unfortunate.
It even could get on the way.
That is so unfortunate. So only
It
4
really
drivers have to go, that can be knocked out in Q1, which obviously released some of the other drivers.
Definitely Tomo Tiptop, definitely one of them.
This is looking like a clean lap from Marconi though.
Sure.
What's the
Let's
time?
see what it can do. A 23.7. Let's see if that is competitive with the Red Bull now crawling across the line. He is on the outlap though. Well, that invalidated Craigo coming up to the line. It is goes fastest with 4/10 to Marconi at 23.3. So right now the times just coming in with an Alpine across the line as well, starting his lap.
Obviously people need to be aware of the fact that in Q1 obviously the track isn't that grippy, and Q3 so it does actually make sense to lift in some corners where it's actually usually flat out, just to not take the necessary risk in Q1. But it's obviously caught out to our tips already. As you see, yellow flag in sector 2 from McLaren.
It is from Dragon on Speed, who spun that tricky chicane, which is getting removed in real life luckily. But the game hasn't updated the track yet, which of course it's a tough ask to do. Mazzles now, first guy into the 22s with a 22.7, goes the fastest of all.
Say Les.
Great stuff from the
Good
Williams
lap.
driver there.
Already second on Marconi. You could improve that time.
Marconi though, as you were saying that, almost improved by a second. So he got up to Mazzles now.
Well.
10th and a half back. And there is our second retirement at that turn 11, turn 12 chicane, the high-speed
Is
chicane,
Wild
it is
Dog.
Wild Dog in the Ferrari.
Oh no, the pressure's got him. The tier 3 pressure.
And it has first. You don't want to see that happening on your table yet. Just probably went a bit too wide on the exit of turn 12, spun across the track into the wall. Yeah, there's no saving that.
Warrior Huntsman going purple in sector 1. I reckon he'll be one of the fastest drivers in tier 3 because I raced him in last season in tier 2 and he was quite quick, but he was seen to like crash out. So if he's able to like race cleanly and make the finish, I could definitely see him, top 5, top 4.
And I should say that he indeed goes top 4 at P2 in fact. Only a tenth behind our currently fastest guy. And speaking of the devil, our currently fastest guy crashes out as well. Mazel's in the wall there at the end of sector 3. Let's have a look on board with the Red Bull of the AlphaTauri. What happened there? Looks very bizarre to just put it in the wall there. Maybe just went through straight on. I couldn't keep it stopped in time, but that is very unfortunate for Mazel there.
Yeah. That's already 3 people out in Q1. That's I mean, if I was anyone else, I'd just put the bankers out of banker lap ever, because
definitely just
I wouldn't want to be pushing. Oh,
and in the meantime, it were Leon and Gatcheflon and Mark Wilson going into the top 5, respectively, all in order. Leon in P3, Gatcheflon in P4, and Mark in P5. A very close field to
Jacob saying great to have you on comms. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob Booth.
This tricky track is already claiming its first victims here. Probably not the last. We'll be seeing here tonight.
Imagine crashing out in Australia. That's poor.
It is, definitely
Q1. Wouldn't happen to me, definitely.
Indeed it wouldn't. Now AFL coming across the line into P5. Even the best make mistakes here. Tricky track.
True. Especially in this fast chicane.
Definitely. or at the end of the start of sector 2. Tricky corners. If you don't get it spot on. A bit early on the throttle, it's game over. Jaco now into P9. The slowest so far of anyone who actually set a valid of competitive lap time. Let's check on speed now. Who was the one who didn't set a competitive lap time goes fastest of all with a 22.7.
He's also a pretty rapid man. He's actually predicted to be one of the champions for the season. So
he is. So he has some pressure on him. But if he can live up to it, we'll be seeing a lot of good stuff here from the German driver. Doesn't use any assists as far as I know, so that's very impressive from him as well.
We're almost 9 minutes in, and there's a lot of drivers who haven't set a lap time yet.
It's very easy to invalidate it.
True. I see a few quick drivers from Tier 4 last season. Quick Killer dominated Russia in a rainy race, and now Hedgehog coming. Oh no, he's on his outlap. Never mind.
The one who is on the outlap, I think, is Fandango, currently formerly known as Wesenplakker. Changed his name.
Did he?
And rounding the last corner now, he did. So if there's any confusion, that's why. What can he do? He can go fastest with a lot of margin to the guy in P2 6/10. So he's looking very good to progress out of this Q1 session. And Gatcheflon improved his position as well to P5, very close to Marconi.
I just straight up retire. Well done, good lap.
In the pit. I think everyone now settling in, maybe the AlphaTauri of Murphy.
Who's coming from the last sector, yeah.
You need this little bit of an oversteer moment there. Through
looking good.
Last sector.
Oh, yeah, that's oversteer.
In this last corner look tidy though. Let's see where you can put it AlphaTauri. Lovely car. In P8 it goes. But yeah, as long as you set a relatively competitive lap time, as you were saying, you should be fine. Already 3 retirements, so far 2 spots still left to get eliminated from this Q1 session, which
I think Murphy is sticking another lap straight up.
it
As he
definitely
backed
looked
off.
like it. Williams now in the last sector. Let's see what that is. It was Fandango going into the pit. Got here level on as well. Aborted his lap. And Arjako has it validated, but he's going for another one. So let's see what Aftari driver can do. Maybe go up into a high position, and I think I have missed a crash from Murphy. Or he has just retired in the pits, but I don't think he has. P15 currently, so that's 4 retirements already. But drivers have to better the times of Mazzles and Murphy to at least go into Q2. I think that is how this game works. Not 100% sure. But Mean Man Moody, the second up, he needs to go a little bit faster, but he probably lifted off in the last sector. Goes, well, 13th fastest, with 1.5 seconds behind everyone else. So he will definitely be looking to improve on that position. Come across the line as Rory Huntsman, starting his lap. Christoph Hugh as well.
My game's
Doing
nearly
the exact
downloaded,
same thing there.
so that's great.
You almost in?
97%.
Oh. That won't take too long then. Riordan, the
That's what she said.
only one on a lap, but he is invalidated as well. Me and Moody, let's see if he can set a competitive lap time. Maybe it won't even be necessary to get him through to Q2, but you still want to show what he can do, of course.
Absolutely.
So now Makoni though is on a very good lap, almost 4 tenths up in sector 2, and with that he will definitely go to second place. Maybe if he has a very good last sector, get that professional pole, but he has gone very deep there on the penultimate corner. Last corner did look better though. Let's see where you can put his Haskar. There's a slight improvement, but not enough for P2 with that mistake in the last sector. Goes into P3. Still should be
good lap.
should be safe.
It's a good lap.
It
But
definitely is.
Pheasant Plow, Fandango is just way out of the rest. 6 tenths. It's a good lap. Or maybe the rest just didn't push.
That's also very possible for retirements. Just playing it safe. Probably the wisest thing to do as well. Christoph Hugh now coming across the line, goes into P13, pushes Mean Man Moody out. With the 2 retirements of Mazzles and Murphy just sitting in between. I don't really know what the rule for that is. To go through or to get knocked out. Leon was slightly up on his time through sector 2, but he has to find some time in sector 3. Would he improve his position? But he actually lost some time. He doesn't improve his time, and with that he obviously doesn't improve his position as well.
Did
Stays
I
at P7.
miss the retirement of Ciro Murphy? Because I was just gone for like 2 seconds, and I see 4 retirements.
I think I missed that as well. I'm
Wow.
not really sure what happened there. Maybe he
That's
just
unlucky.
crashed somewhere.
That's 4 people out. Quickly just needs to put in a time. That's above 123.2. Well, that's a low 2, so and he'll be through.
Definitely will, if you just
But that's
get
easier
a,
said than
get a
done.
decent lap time.
So rooting for Riordan as well, because he's my Alfa Romeo teammate.
Definitely backing him to succeed here. Christoph Hugh going for his 2nd straight lap and does improve by almost 9 tenths. Goes up into P8. Definitely safe with that, I dare to say. I think everyone up down to P10 is through with the time currently set. But it also, of course, depends on the track getting better. And we've seen Alpine stuck in turn 1. Is that Nacho who crashed out? I think it is. Let's quickly go on board here. And it is Nacho in the wall there, so that's our 5th retirement on
Is he
track
dead?
of the race. Of the
Nacho?
qualifying, he is. His wheel has come off the car. So there it is, the track is proving to be very, very deadly to our drivers today.
Is lethal.
Serial killer. Australia here today. Jacko,
I'm in the session, but I can't do anything.
can you spectate? Just press the triangle.
Nope. Well, it's literally just showing me cars.
I'm not really sure what else you can do then. Maybe ask. So
I'll
one as
restart.
Jacko there, almost losing the car, just manages to keep it on track. But he doesn't need to push. He is through anyway with that 5th retirement of Nacho as his Hedgehog on his outlap. He does improve though, Jacko. Very close to the time of Grego. He is looking very unstable at AlphaTauri, so it doesn't really shouldn't be pushing here. Just get it home safely.
We should be through. Can Quick Killer
Should be.
get a lap in though?
He's just crossing the line now. He has
He
55
goes out
seconds
Yeah.
to not invalidate this one. But Riordan coming into the pits, he is out of that Q1 session. So we won't be seeing 15 drivers in Q2. I mean, Moody, he has to improve his time as well to
I've got
get
confidence in this lap.
himself through out of Q1. To see where he goes. He doesn't improve enough. Still in P16, maybe he can go for another run. But if not, that is qualifying over for the Haas as well. So only Quick Killer can make a difference now to the qualifying session with the bottom 5. But as it stands, only 12 drivers will be participating in Q2.
Me and Moody went a bit wide for turn 1, but he still managed to get through safely.
And the pressure's definitely on for those two drivers in the Aston Martin and the Haas. Quick Killer, as it's looked, a very tidy lap. It still has to beat, I think, the 23.5, but he has gone into the pits. So it won't be a lap time for Quick Killer. And he is out of qualifying 1 as well.
Where's he going into the pits?
He probably wasn't happy with his lap.
How
What do
would
you
he
think,
know?
Jacob?
How would he know?
That's a good question. He didn't have any delta to go off of. Because, well, he didn't set a lap yet.
Mimon's just got a bit wide, but still.
The lap is still on. Let's see. I didn't
Absolutely.
catch his second 2 time, but it doesn't look like he's improving. No, he isn't. So that's still P16 for Meme and Moody. Or as he currently...
He's knocked out, and that's qualifying over. So,
that is qualifying 1 over. Indeed.
we have. It is a bit complicated, this one, because there's a lot of people that's retired on track, even though they would have gone through. So that's Wild Dog, Quick Killer, and Thomas Tiptop's gone out. Riordan and Mammoody is gone out in Q1.
And I dare to say CRL Nacho, CRL Murphy and Mazzles all will
you
be
dare.
taking part in Q2. Because the car is just
So
going
that
to
means only
shambles.
2 people can be knocked out in Q2.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Don't know why some people have gone through and some haven't, but that's the game.
Can you send me another invite? Because I'm
I
restarting
will-
the game.
Can't in this menu though. So I'll
That's
send you
okay.
an invite whenever I can. Jet looking back at this qualifying 1 session, it's Fandango who definitely set the pace in front of the chasing pack, who were very close with Dragon on speed in P2.
Stunning lap, but I'm expecting more from Dragon on speed. He's quick, he's definitely quick.
There may be some sandbagging going on here in the
Who knows, man?
first qualifying
Maybe they
session.
didn't use the ERS, you know?
Perhaps, maybe.
Yeah.
They didn't use the DRS. Let me quickly invite you. And otherwise, just send someone a message from how to get into the spectator mode. And now Q2 kicking off as well. I think some drivers will take the risk to start on those medium tires, especially with only 2 spots to be knocked out. And indeed, there are 3 drivers. Fandango.
Be a madman not to try it.
Definitely true that. Fandango indeed very fastest in the first qualifying on those medium tires. Marconi already out on those medium tires, but our Jacko is the first one out, so we'll stay on board with him. See what he can do. Are you spectating as well?
It's working.
Oh, that's lovely.
You know, Boomkey, looking at other people in qualifying makes me want to go and do some volley myself, doesn't it? Do you have the same?
Yeah, especially if you missed out on the qualifying.
Yeah, if you crash in Q1, right?
Circumstances.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm not the only
it's
one.
It's not for everyone, Q2, but
especially, indeed it is.
Yeah.
But it is for these 12 drivers here.
Yep.
So let's concentrate on them.
Absolutely. But I'm looking forward to next Thursday already in France, and these guys will be in France next week as well. But that's for in the future, right?
It is for next week. Only you can only speculate about things to come. But now our Jaco is starting his lap on the soft tires. They are probably around a second faster per lap than those mediums. So let's see what times the medium and the soft guys can put on the board. A bit wide there through turn 3, but nice line here. Slight lift, taking the curb. Not really what you want to do.
Don't want to hit that inside curb, do you?
It's really treacherous to go on that
it's
inside curb.
Clean,
it does look very clean. Not really any mistakes, maybe a bit careful though. Tidy slide there, but as long as it's controlled, it doesn't really matter too much. Now turn 11 and turn 12, the chicane. It does look very tidy there. Purple in both factors, of course.
So you
first driver to the go. Go on. Taking the curb here does unsettle the car a bit sometimes, but very wide there, and almost losing the car on that hairpin going into the final corner, but he has kept it on track. So let's see what the time it is at 24.4. As we saw there, costly mistake in the final sector. Marconi now crossing the line on the medium. He indeed has. In that fast right-hander, he has retired, so there's only one place left for anyone to be knocked out.
Gregor nearly went through, thankfully he ghosted. But yeah, only one spot left. This is an interesting qualifying session, isn't it?
It really is. Australia proving to be a graveyard of some sort. With already 6 retirements now in qualifying
it's a
only.
grim place with all the concrete. Meanwhile,
Fandango proves his pace, who once again goes fastest on those mediums. I dare to say both soft times weren't really representative. As we know, both can go a lot faster. Mark Wilson now into P3, so the mediums all on top. The Red Bull of Leon coming through. He was predicted to do great things here as well in tier 3, and he goes first by
Ooh.
a second.
I was on board with Dragon, but he went wide through the fast chicane, but he didn't crash. He lifted.
Well kept.
Good on him.
Definitely well kept in AFL now, getting through on Dragon. Let him buy it wisely enough into the final sector. Doesn't go wide there, and he has a very nice line in that last turn. So let's see what he can do. And it is P2. 6/10 though from his teammate Leon, both on that soft tire. But it is a good lap indeed.
Second faster than Fandango, but obviously he's in the mediums. So, how much is the difference between mediums and softs on this track over one lap?
I think it's around 1 second, maybe.
9/10.
9/10 to a second, I think. So Fandango,
pretty much on par.
Indeed, with
Good
Leon
stuff.
there. You saw a little bit of a spin from Dragon in the first turns. Mark Wilson completing another lap to go on for another lap on the medium tires. Of course, with Q2 you start on the tires you qualify on, but a lot of traction loss on the first corner.
Craig
from the
going through now, as I said, lap, and it's on P2.
Just ahead of AFL. It's 11 thousandths ahead of the Red Bull. And the Red Bull sandwich now. He's Cargo. Checking on speed, only one on a lap, but he has it validated. Mark Wilson 4/10 down. So it doesn't look like he is gonna improve. AFL has aborted his lap. So it will be Warrior Huntsman to set the next lap here in Australia.
Mark Wilson is on the fast lap going through the chicane. And he's not backed off, but he's going in really cautiously, so I don't think he's going to improve his time.
He was already 4/10 down through the first sector, so
and he's
that probably explains a lot. I think Craigo is going on for another run. So it definitely will be Rory Huntsman there. He did go full throttle there, bless you.
Thank you.
Through the fast right-hander. Taking these corners very nicely as well. Just coming through the chicane now into third gear. Just maximizing the track there on the left-hand side as well, going onto the curb to accelerate. Really what you want to see. Turning it at that 50-meter board, goes down to 7 and 6 for turn 12. But he has a little bit of a slide coming out of the chicane. Really shortening his distance with staying on the right of the track there, with a little curve to the right on the straight as well. Sector 3 now, it looks very tidy. He hits that curve there, but he doesn't go wide on the hairpin, so that's very good to see. Good line as well through the last corner, so let's see what he can do.
Going to be P5. That should be through, shouldn't it?
It probably is safe enough.
The pressure is on Dragon and Hedge to get a representative lap time, because at the moment they're the only ones who haven't done yet. So, and obviously Jacko and Mark Wilson are probably obliged to improve as well, 24.2 and 24.4 respectively.
And the same goes out for Christopher.
I think Jacko's on another fast lap.
He is indeed. He was going on the soft tires, the first one, but we saw him make a mistake here in sector 3, and he went out on the mediums this time. But he has gone into the box.
Ooh, he nearly missed the pit entry as well.
It's a very tricky pit entry. If you go a little bit too wide, it could be game over.
Hedgehog over the line.
P6.
P6.
Just ahead of McConey. But that should be good enough. McConey, of course, on those medium tires. I think everyone in the 23s now should be fine to make it into Q3 with the current set lap time. but
I
of
think
course
so
it
as
is a
well.
gamble.
Yeah,
Dragon choosing to ditch his mediums for the soft tires.
I think Gauthier Lafon is probably kicking himself right now. It's obviously one of those corners that you expected, take it easy flat out, but you probably hit the curb on the inside, lost the rear, and it's end of story for him. But it's so easy to invalidate on the other side as well, if you don't pay enough attention. So it's a tough track. Australia.
It is a tough
especially
track.
for first round.
Indeed, it's a tricky opener with Dragon on speed now going purple in the first sector, but with the game not really 100% accurate all the time. But he does have a big lock up there, goes a bit off track but still keeps it valid. But he lost a lot of time and he backs off.
I believe he plays without assist, doesn't he, Dragon?
Indeed.
No line or ABS. I can respect that.
Indeed, is a man of culture with no assists.
Absolutely.
But it is very hard to learn. Christopher 4 tenths up in the middle sector. Really cuts the turn 12 there, very nice.
Big lift though.
That is true.
What can he produce? Yellow in sector 1.
I think that's for Jacko just going a bit slow, or has he got wing damage? Nope.
Dragon has improved.
Outlap.
Just
He has improved, but not by nothing. Christopher going into P4. So that's definitely safe for the Mercedes driver, I dare to say.
he's going for another lap. Is he?
He looks like it. I think I'll go on board with Dragon on speed, of course, a bit further up the track. Going purple once again, improving, but he has invalidated on the first corner of sector 2 on turn 6.
He's still got 2.2 laps of fuel, so he'll still be able to come around, do another lap.
He has prepared for this.
Definitely, but
fair to say.
So unlucky, man. Purple on sector 1. That might just be a visual glitch though, because he's in P11, so it'll be compared to P10.
That is true. But it didn't look slow by any means. Christopher has backed off from his second consecutive run. As you see now, a couple more drivers just coming out of the pits, and Jacko really accelerating a bit late to start his lap. Maybe he's doing 2 outlaps because he still hasn't gone full throttle. Yes, I think he is.
It's backed off.
Well, he hasn't really started his lap. He's just doing 2 outlaps to get the tires nice and warm. And Fandango and Leon now both retiring in the pit lane. As does Christopher.
Maybe he wants to burn a bit more fuel.
That is also possible. Dragon now for the third
Only
time
he
in a row.
knows. They fell tired in the pits, I think.
Yep, he indeed has, as his Hedgehog. So now it's down to those bottom 4 guys.
He's not gone purple sector 1, but he's not invalidated yet, Dragon.
Precisely. Just a bit off his fastest time there. I think even if he's just that little bit slower than he would have been on his absolute maximum, still can be good. And purple now is sector 2.
He takes out very nicely, doesn't he?
He does.
Again.
I think we'll be looking for a very nice time here from Dragon.
Can he keep it clean though through sector 3? It does look very good. It doesn't go in too deep.
I dare to say Dragon is through with this time.
He surely will. Like a clean lap.
Does he go faster though? He does.
He does. He does.
700s ahead of Leon.
Absolutely fantastic. Dragon on speed, but
the fastest man currently. Marconi still in the pit lane. So the man in P9 hasn't got time to set another lap time.
Warrior Huntsman is 7 tenths up.
He is, but Variansman definitely is through with Hedgehog
1.2 now.
and McConey behind him. Ooh, big snap there.
He crashed. Oof.
Let's keep our eyes out on Mark Wilson, because it is the battle to be knocked out between McConey, Mark Wilson and Jacko. With McConey not really anything else to give. Sitting in the pit lane currently does Mark Wilson. He does go into P3, so he's through. Let's see if Jacko can knock out McConey. He is half a second faster through sector 2, and with that he would be knocking out McConey.
Did Hedge retire in the pits?
He did.
Yeah.
Into the last part of the lap the off-tire goes. It looks pretty
Pressure's
stable.
on him. It's gone a bit wide. Oof.
A bit of a snap. But is it enough?
It
is.
P3.
P3. So that's McConey and Gautier Levelon knocked out of this Q2 session. And Wariansman on the medium, as does Fandango through to Q3. McConey gambled it as well on the medium tires, but just wasn't enough. Half a tenth faster and he would have been P9. This is how close some of these drivers are. Oh, that's a German 1-2 here, way ahead of everyone else. With the Dragon on speed heading the pack ahead of Leon. And then comes Jacko in P3, Mark Wilson P4, Craig in
just
Ferrari
me or
in
does...
P5.
Oh, sorry.
Just go on.
Oh, is it just me or are the clouds really dark?
That could be something to keep an eye on. Indeed, in
Who knows?
Q3 and AFL P6, Christophe in P7, Fandango on those mediums in P8S has Rory Huntsman, both qualified on the medium tires, so they will be in a very good position for the race. And Hedgehog, the last driver to make it through to Q3.
Just about. He's 400s faster than, was it McConey?
It was McConey.
Damn. That is...
Very, very tight margins on this track. Q3 is starting and it's still not raining. I don't know if anyone has...
My eyes deceive me.
Maybe they did, maybe the clouds just deceived us all.
You've been pranked.
We have. We have been pranked by the weather gods.
Is it actually gonna rain for the race though? Have you been told?
I haven't seen a message come through about the weather forecast.
Should I ask? I'll ask.
Go on.
Oh wait, I've been kicked from the tier 3 chat. Yeah, that's gonna make it pretty difficult.
It's difficult to ask then. Let's just keep it a surprise. See how it all unfolds in the race and maybe even in Q3. A lot of drivers already heading out on the track. It's just a Mercedes driver and the Williams. Just stationary, still waiting for the track to rubber in a bit more. Of course, at the final part of Q3, the track is faster, more grippy than at the beginning. But luckily, we do have 10 drivers for Q3.
For the top 10 shootout.
Exactly. To see who can put it on pole. Gregory.
I don't know about tier 3.
Set a benchmark.
But for tier 4, it's going to rain the first 10 minutes.
Ooh.
But we're not tier 4, are we? So
We are not.
that's some useless info.
It indeed is, but it definitely shows the chance that there is rain. But Gregor goes very deep there in turn 3. And turn 4 as well didn't look very tidy. So it's not going to be the best of laps from the Ferrari man. But he still is gonna make it maybe with a very good sector 2 and sector 3. Still put a competitive lap time on the board. Going to the turn 9-10 chicane now.
Always dangerous. Always dangerous.
It definitely is. Looked very tidy there.
That's a good chicane.
Just a bit wide of the apex there. It shouldn't be too harmful.
Oh! Jacko's nearly lost it. He just about caught it.
Well done to him then. See Gregor make not a mistake in the last sector. So it isn't the best of laps from the Ferrari man. 24.7. Respecting, I think, at least 22s, low 22s in this
He's done fast laps, hasn't he?
session.
That might just be a banker lap.
It probably is, but we know he can go faster. Jacko as well, with a 24. And Leon now, that is the time we were expecting to see a 22.0.
22 flat. Can someone go sneak into the 121s?
That is the question. I think if
AFL 2029.
if you manage to do that at 2021, you'll definitely be looking at a higher place on the grid.
Christoph.
Into P3. Dragon now.
And
What can he do?
P2.
2.5.
Still half a second off though from Leon.
That just shows how good the left from Leon was. Warrior Huntsman there. Goes into P3,
Mark
just
Wilson.
sneaks ahead of Dragon.
Mark Wilson into Phil 56, 23.2.
So that is the first round of laps complete. Now
Who are you
Hedgehog is
betting
starting his lap.
for Umpier?
It is very tough to say, but I think the main three candidates we saw from the earlier qualifying sessions were Fandango, Leon and Dragon on speed. So it's gonna be one of them, I dare to say.
And Nago as well as outlap though. So we should be see him get out there. Oh, Hedge nearly lost it through turn 4,
Has kept it on track, so
turn
I
7.
believe. Some people heading into the pit, but not all of them. Fandango starting his lap. Just behind him, the Red Bull is coming into the pit, so it's Hedgehog. It isn't Hedgehog, it's Christoph in the last sector, but he has backed off. Is Dragon going for it? Can't really tell.
Oh, Hedge retired.
Doesn't look like. And he has.
Hedge
he
just
has
crashed out in the fast chicane. Craigo's going past him.
Just
Stunned.
before it.
How is he?
He's middle on the track. It looks very bizarre.
And he's distracted Craigo. Did you see that?
He couldn't see the corner, Craigo there. I didn't think he was on a hot lap anymore, but that looked very weird
That was
to crash there.
very intense. But Hedge, the tier 4 champions, crashed out in Q3.
So let's
The
beat
pressure's
them
getting
for
to
it.
him.
Just
I love
before
Hedge.
it. Fandango now purple in sector 2. Can you invite our good friend Wild Dog again?
Yeah,
Just
I've just I have some exclusive information for you. It's gonna rain after 30 minutes.
Ooh, so that's gonna spice things up now.
It will.
And of course the forecast in the garage not always 100% accurate, so maybe it can come a bit faster. But Fandango there goes into P2, just under 2/10 off of Leon, and he goes for another one. So maybe he can even top Leon to go professional pole here. But he has to have a very good lap to do that, of course. Wilson has validated, just making his way back to the pit lane. So let's stick on board with Nago, just a bit down on his time through the first sector, but it isn't over yet, of course. If you could just nail the rest of the lap. And there's enough corners to make up time, but that doesn't help. Invalidates through turn 10, just the exit of that.
It does not, does it?
It is not really the best thing to do. Mercedes stationary, but it just was to let the AlphaTauri of Jacko go, both on outlaps. In fact, everyone on track is on outlaps or heading into the pits. This is Fandango now. So Dragon, the first one to go across the line and set another lap time, if he don't invalidates it, is of course. So you already asked my predictions, but who are you predicting to go on pole?
I think Fandango's got it in him. He's looking pretty fast. He validated, but he was fast in Q1, so I'm expecting him to be fast in Q3. But Leon, obviously, he's got the upper hand, and he will not feel the pressure when he's going to throw another lap. So yeah, you never know. And I think Dragon on speed can do faster as well. He's on a new lap as well, so let's see what he can do.
Indeed he is. Going through turn 3 now. And turn 4.
That's looking very clean.
It is just a slight lift there, but it wasn't anything major. Just a bit down on his first time though.
He's looking really fast, isn't he?
It definitely is. Just hooking that inside curb here. What can he do in sector 2? Does he improve? And he does! Almost 3/10. So if you can keep this up, a bit wobbly through the turn 12 there.
Still good though, still good.
It definitely was. It doesn't hurt him that much, I don't think. In sector 3 now. If he can hook this up, he will go professional pole. But that's the question, does he make up that time?
Keep it clean. I think he will. DRS wide open.
Going across the line now. Does he go into the 21s? No,
Oh no,
just
he
about.
doesn't.
A 22.1, but still a very fast lap time from the McLaren.
You can still
there.
do another out lap though, or another in lap.
That is true as well.
Pits, but
Just a cool down lap.
Yeah.
And Jacko now going across the line and see what he can do. He was a second up and he goes into P5. So it's a very good lap there from the AlphaTauri. Mercedes of Christopher now going across the line next. Then it's Rory Huntsman. Christopher into P6. Rory Huntsman, he has invalidated. And that is Mark Wilson on an outlap. So let's just go on board then with Craigo, but he doesn't look like he's on a lap. I don't think he is now. Fandango also on an outlap, so everyone is just preparing their final run now. And it's only, of course, the Mercedes of Hedgehog having to watch from the pit lane. Losing his wheel. And that is Craigo going into the pit. So he won't have another lap time. So that is at best P8 for that Ferrari there. Let's go on board with
Anyone on the fast
Fandango.
lap?
Yes, the
Christoph is 2 tenths up. 3.5 tenths up. Christoph.
So he's looking very good chicane as well there. Just in a bit of a higher gear than some drivers do. But of course that can help to stabilize the car. Checo isn't on the lap.
Very tidy. Over
It
himself.
is. I'd say he definitely goes up to P4 at least. With
Surely,
his
what's
improvement
it
in
gonna be?
sector 2 as well. It is
It's
P4 indeed. Only less than 10th behind Fandango though. And it's Rory Huntsman goes into P2. Very close to the top time there.
And that's gonna be his final lap as well.
It is, he is backed off. But it's a very good time from Rory Huntsman. So we go on board now with Fandango, who's 4 tenths up on the time.
I'm telling you, this man can do it.
He can definitely do it if he keeps it clean through the last sector, which it looks like he does. The first one to go into the 21s as it stands. What does he do? Coming across the line? It is
P1.
professional pole indeed. 21.8, that's very fast. Dragon has invalidated, so he won't compete for that time. Let's just see what is happening further back. Mark Wilson, 2 tenths up through the first sector.
Leon is 2 tenths up. Leon is 2 tenths up.
Oh, Mark Wilson just got on that curb a bit too much. This Formula 1 car almost turned into this a fucking airplane. Leon,
Only
3 tenths
AFL
up.
and Leon on fast laps. He's 3 tenths up, Leon. You get a pole.
He definitely can. Just needs to keep it clean here. And then we will be seeing Leon on pole.
Had a bit of a snap because he touched the curb.
Nothing too major. AFL is even just ahead of him.
A little bit of a toe.
AFL doesn't improve, and Leon, he just doesn't get him.
He's lost a lot of time. Sector 3.
Definitely where he lost that pole position. It was very close. It was up for grabs. He just couldn't get it. So it is Fandango on pole. As we were saying, he has showed that he can do it, and he actually has done it.
I told you.
Indeed, your prediction came true. Leon,
Leon
the only
P2.
other driver into the 21s.
Warrior Huntsman very, very close with 2-2-1-1-1. And Dragon on speed just at 2,200s away from Warrior. And it's very, very close though between the top 8, top 9 even.
All drivers had a lap very close indeed. That wraps up qualifying.
So like 6 tenths between P1 and like P7, I think. Oh, P6.
P6, very close enough. But indeed, it is Fandango on pole for this opener in Melbourne. Just joined on the front row by Leon in the Red Bull. Second row it consists of Warrior Huntsman in the Alfa Romeo and Dragon in the McLaren. Christopher and Jacko on the third row, AFL and Craig on the fourth row. And it's Mark Wilson and Hedgehog who failed to set a lap time, but that curiously a bit bizarre crash, I dare to say, just before turn 11 in P10.
I'm so excited, I'm gonna grab a glass of water.
I'm gonna do the same. Drivers now lining up on the grid. Wild Dog, I think, has left the session again.
Again?
I think he has, so if you can maybe try to help him out. I think as well every full-time driver in Tier 3 managed to get here today. So that's very nice to see. No reserves needed for the opening round of this season.
It's great to see the determination of these drivers. We don't see that Tier 1, especially not in Tier 2 last season. Lots and lots of reserves, but these guys are willing to go for it. Obviously it's round 1. But still,
you want to be there for the opening round, of course.
Absolutely. Well, there's a few quick drivers at the back. Well, Belka and Christopher, who crashed out in
as well, showed he got the pace.
Oh, and Rio didn't want it to have touched Isis.
That is unfortunate. They'll be having very cold tires at the start of the race.
And Quickula didn't set a lap in Q1, which was odd, to say the least, because he was in for a decent time, I think.
It was very odd, but he probably had his reasons for it.
What's the best tactic to warm your tires for a race?
I'd say probably just start warming them up just at the end of Sector 2, because if you warm up in Sector 1 it just be unnecessary tire wear. So warm up, weave a lot, probably do a bit of burnouts as well in third or fourth gear, just to get those rear tires heated up as well.
Right.
It really helps. But you're talking about tires, Fandango and Huntsman in P1 and 3 respectively, both on the medium tires. So maybe Leon can profit off of that, have a very good first stint, just extend his gap, fly off into the distance. And outside of the top 10, some drivers have chosen to go on the soft tire, and that is Gautier, Levelon, Murphy and Wild Dog in last place. Predicted pit stop strategy is a one-stop soft medium, bit around lap 11 or 12.
Don't be surprised, folks, if we see a safety car in lap 1, because turn 1 in Australia is messy.
It is a really awkward angle to go side to side. See if I can get a good camera. One of them. Doesn't look like I can, but there we go with Dragon.
There we go.
The 5 red lights are on, and they're out for the opening round, and it looks like the Red Bull of Leon has got a very good start, and he has already passed Fandango, as has Dragon on speed. He flew off the start, Dragon, but just side to side now with the Williams driver, and it is a crash further back. Murphy already out at turn 1, and it is a virtual safety car, so your prediction already came through, and it is a safety car now. Full on safety car. And you see Fandango spinning on his own just as a safety car has come out. He has recovered somewhat, but it's P9.
Few penalties awarded as well.
P2. It's a very
what happened there?
Bizarre start.
Unfortunately, we can't get any replays. I think I'm not too sure. I think Christoph and Bjorn tangled, and he basically just caused a pile up for the rest of the grid. So that's not lucky, is it?
But it's very unfortunate. It's tough to avoid accidents.
That's how it goes down under in Albert Park.
Indeed it does. See where wing damages maybe are applicable, and it is Mark Wilson who drives around without a front wing. So expect him to go to the pit.
I believe Riordan has got wing damage as well, so expect him to go to the pits.
He does. He has lost his left end plate. A Wild Dog dropping back, also with front wing damage, I think. Though it does look. Oh, he's ghosted, so his AI needs to hurry up a bit in order for him to get back. Got the left lun as well, without a front wing. And very unfortunate for Quick Killer, Riordan and Min Moody, all so bunched up in that first little bit of the race, and the virtual safety car coming out straight away. They made contact just afterwards, and awarded 5-second penalties, which they will need to serve in the pit lane at the pit stop.
Nothing's also quicker because you restart from back anyway.
It is true. As Wild Dog has retired already.
Why? It didn't look like he had any damage.
I think maybe he gave up with his connection issues.
Could be true.
They weren't pretty. So looking at the position changes, it is Fandango who has lost 7 positions. Mark Wilson and Christoph Yu also getting horrible starts, with losing 5 and 10 places respectively. Leon though, from P2 up into the lead, of course starting on the soft tires, Dragon on speed as well, with a nice start. 2 places gained. Uri Hansman staying in P3 on the medium tires, so if he can just stay with the front 2, he is in a very good position for the rest of the race.
Hopefully we'll not have another standing start going into turn 1.
Luckily we don't. It's probably gonna cause a bit of carnage as well, as it was with the first time we were heading into it. Checo, very good start as well. A lot of guys gained 2 positions from Fandango and Christoph Yu falling back.
A few lucky ones as well. Tom on tip tops picked up 7 positions.
He has got a very good start.
Yeah, probably avoided all the carnage going into turn one.
Yeah.
Obviously, we lost Murphy. What's his name?
Caught up in the carnage. And the guys who made a pit stop all on different tire strategies. Mark Wilson going onto the hard tire, probably wanting to finish the race on those tires as well. And the 3 cars behind them all on medium tires. Just sticking with the normal strategy. Got the 11 on the soft tires. Knows he is gonna make another pit stop again. So just waiting for the safety car to come in.
He'll come in his lap. Absolutely.
The field is back
I
together.
actually had a glitch. I had a glitch this year when I was meeting in the ISRO. There was like 4 laps left and the safety car could come in. I was on old hards, everyone behind me was on fresh offs. I had a glitch for like another 3 laps. So I only had to defend for like 2 laps instead of 5.
Well,
which was amazing. But hopefully we don't see.
Lucky for you.
Hopefully we don't see that here.
Indeed. Just coming into sector 3 now, and the safety car is indeed in this lap. The lights on top of the
Oh
Aston
boy,
Martin
I'm getting
going
excited.
out. Very interesting to see how this restart goes for our drivers. Warming up the tires, it's of course up to Leon to when he goes. Let's go on board with the Dragon to see.
He is effectively the safety car at this moment.
You could say that, indeed. He has to dictate the pace, of course. But he has to wait until the safety car has entered the pit lane. So I believe
Which it has.
has now. Let's just see when the Red Bull decides to go. Still weaving on the straight.
And he's gone.
And he has. The Dragon is very awake on the restart, as is Warrior Huntsman. Warrior Huntsman already
He's
on the
sleeping.
inside. The Dragon now very with the toe. Goes in the inside, but he backs out of it. Does have a better exit though, with Leon a bit squirmy on the exit. Let's see if Dragon decides to go for it, or if he backs out, he backs out. But that gives Warrior Huntsman the opportunity to stick it down the inside. Doesn't have the traction on the medium tires to make the move stick. And I think
A clean
Fandango
restart.
did.
Yeah, Fandango's overtaken
Warrior
Hedge.
Huntsman got on the curb there of turn 5 and gone
Oh,
very
go
wide,
wide.
cross on those wheels. So now falling back the order to P5, maybe P6 with Grego down the inside, making a bit of contact, wheel banging under the braking.
Leave
Warrior
space,
Huntsman off again and falling down the order. And P10 now with the soft of Hedgehog behind him, so not the safety car restart he wanted. Top 2 pulling away.
It's looking like a clean lap from everyone so far.
It is. Mima Moody and Mark Wilson side to side there. Mima Moody
Oops.
in that first place. Got the 11 making moves on reorder on the soft tires as he needs to do to keep any track of him. Dragon of Speed still very close to Leon, looking to break the toe from Jacko, and maybe, well, not giving him the opportunity to stay with him with the DRS assistance.
Leon's been chased down with Dragon on speed. He's got him in his rears. He's very probably sweating in his chair.
He probably is end up seeing a battle here further down the field. Christopher and Mark Wilson going side to side, but that doesn't work. Mark Wilson is round after contact with Christopher.
And he loses a few.
He loses a few, drops down into last place. It's a very tricky place to go side to side there, as we saw in the other races as well. Going in very close to Grego. Is he close enough though to make a move here? Doesn't look like it. Fandango making a move on Nacho, but falling back again.
Warrior Huntsman and Fandango going through as speed as you can together. Oh, it's out. It's good to see.
That's indeed a wise thing to do. Vessel's very close on the back of Marconi. Goes down the inside. We see this happen before, and that didn't end well, but this does. And the Alpine driver now, down the inside he goes, and he's just making that stick.
Yeah, the
Still
flag
around
crystal
the
spun.
Yes, that's unlucky for the Mercedes driver, losing out a lot of positions. Top 4 really pulling away now from the rest of the pack. Especially Dragon on speed and Leon solidifying
still
their,
keeping the
their
DRS on,
positions
no?
into 1 and 2, and the second Mercedes of Hedgehog also goes for a spin after we saw Christophe have one. Now his teammate has gone as well. It's 3 wide into turn 4, turn 3, yeah, that is, with both Aston Martins and a Haas. And Quick Killer coming out of top after Mima Moody has gone wide, got the level on,
Has to
down
back
the
out.
inside, but he indeed backs out. The best thing to do.
I think me and my music got damaged or something because he's going into the wall.
He has.
Small
lucky,
push from Gauthier Lafon, but he's done it himself.
If he's lucky, that won't be damaged, but it can be. Fandango and Warrionsman very close into turn 11. And Fandango going a bit wide. Tomo Tip Top with a very good run as Marconi overtakes Grego on the DRS straight. Fandango down the inside of Tomo Tip Top, giving each other just enough room. Still going on, but Fandango backing out of that battle.
That's another yellow flag, and Mercedes Hedgehog spun again through the fast chicane. It's not been his day, has it?
It has not been the day for both Mercedes driver, that is, Fandango coming into the pits already on the medium tires. So I think he has damage, as has been Mahmoudi. Both coming into the pit very early, especially if you're on the mediums. And indeed, his front wing is being changed. And for Mean Moody, it is the same. It's not the race they want to see.
Dragon on speed, keeping in touch with Leon, just 6 tenths behind.
It's just waiting for that perfect overtaking opportunity. Of course, not the easiest track to overtake on, but it does have 3 DRS zones, so keeping up is very simple. Hedgehog as well into the pits, putting on a fresh set of soft tires. So
He'll be open for a safety car.
he probably will, as will his teammate. Nacho there goes very wide after Robbie Hansman overtook him. Also battle between the Aston Martins as Gauthier Levelon gets past Quick Killer. And Nacho now really falling back, also being overtaken by Tomo Tip-Top. I wonder if he has damage, and he does go into the pit lane, so I think that confirms it. Will be changing his front wing, as Fandango is the first driver to pick up a penalty.
That's so unfortunate.
Ooh, Nacho speeding in the pit lane. There's 5 seconds added on to his race time.
Dragon's really putting the pressure on Leon now. He's in the DRS zone, he's got more ERS.
Will be a matter of time before we see the overtake.
And that's Fandango gone.
Retires
retired in
on
pits.
track. I think he spun out on the last corner, in fact. Because of it, the safety car is out, so that is good news for the cars at the back. Yeah, Fandango just put it in the pit wall on the start-finish straight. Just lost traction out of the last corner. Very lucky for him. It definitely looked like he had the pace.
That's so lucky. But obviously, consistency is key in Formula 1. You can't crash out.
If you were driving right now, would you pit on the medium tires maybe?
On the mediums, I had the same
don't see
dilemma.
the lap. Ooh, Dragon on speed got a very tricky moment there. Almost lost the car, but he has kept it in the right lines.
I actually had the same dilemma last Thursday. I was on mediums as well. I was a safety car around lap 9, I think. 1 lap later, so I think I went to hards, but I'm not too sure. What would you do?
I'd definitely go on the mediums right now. If I started on the soft, I'd maybe stay out if I started on mediums, just to gain that track position. It is not easy to overtake here.
Yeah. Someone tipped up and
hope for
Marconi
another safety car.
two. Haven't pitted yet. Do you reckon they're on mediums? Do you reckon that's a good choice?
I think so.
If there's another safety car within 10 laps, they'll be golden. Absolutely golden.
They definitely will. But before 5, brand new set of medium tires, they can go the distance. With, I think, around 19 laps of racing left.
But let's be honest, like quicker and Leon. No, sorry, Leon and Dragon Speed are in prime position, I'd say.
They definitely are, as they were, of course, before the pit stop.
It's unfortunate for Jacko though, because he's been overtaken by 2 cars in front of him, both on the 7-lap old medium, so he'll need to pit as well. And Mark Wilson's gone to hards. He won't necessarily have to pit Mark Wilson. He can make it towards the end.
I think he can, but he has got a penalty, so that won't help. Of 3 seconds.
No, he will not. And meanwhile, Warrior Huntsman's gone to softs. I think he's betting on another safety car, isn't he?
It's either that or he is a magician on his tires.
Yes, what?
It's very tough to take the softs to the end.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Maybe he's got
aid of some safety cars. Will definitely help the tire wear.
Lower the on throttle, you know, just ease the tires in. But I don't think he'll make 20 laps.
20 laps is a big ask. Probably a bit too big.
It's like asking your mum for a PS5 for Christmas. Like, there's a possibility you probably won't get it.
What a great...
Not because your mum won't get it, because it's just not available. Oh, Nacho's inside.
That is very interesting to see. Under a safety car, he had all his opportunity to go into the pit lane, slot on the medium tires, make it to the end.
He did. Hopefully, Hedgehog can
catch up to the field.
Hopefully, Hedge can rejoin the safety car. Like, fuck, Jesus.
Hopefully, Hedgehog can rejoin the safety car queue.
Sorry, lads.
And just
being bilingual can be hard at times.
It's always hard. Hopefully, Hedgehog can catch up to the safety car train.
To the rest of the pack, so the safety car will come in this lap, or would have to do another lap.
I think it is going to do another lap. Marconi entering sector 3, yeah.
Nah,
lights haven't gone off.
There.
The lights are still on unless it's a very late safety car call. I don't think it is going in this lap.
If it goes out another lap, I'm grabbing a beer.
It is going on another lap, I think you can go.
I'm grabbing a beer.
We have to keep in mind as well, of course. And it is going in this lap. So that's very unlucky timing. But a very late call for the safety car to come in, and Marconi really has to go slow here to make sure he doesn't get held up by the safety car that hasn't gone into the pit yet. But he already has gone, and Tom Tiptop was very awake. Still very close, but Quick Killer now. Just on the back of the McLaren. Does he go for a launch into turn 1? Just doesn't, but he gets the better traction. What a move that is from the Aston Martin there on Tom Tiptop. Great positioning of the car. Indeed, the safety car has gone in this lap. Variansman making a move on Messels there. Quick Killer making the move on Tiptop just out of turn 1.
I think Boobie's gone as well. Apparently the safety cars came in very, very late. As McConaughey leading from Quick Killer at somewhat Tiptop.
Am I back now?
Boompje?
Hold on a sec.
Somehow I can't hear Boompje. I don't know why.
There is something. Well, yeah. Can you hear me now again?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was confused. Warrior Huntsman making a move on Mark Wilson, so really making moves here on the safety car restart is Warrior Huntsman from P10, I believe, already into P7. It's still the same top 3 who started the safety car restart in top 3 now, with Leon very close to the back of Tomo Tiptop. Maybe some team games will be going on here with both Mercedes, but Tomo Tiptop got a very wobbly exit that allows Leon to go through. The question is if they will.
No, they just did, because Warrior Huntsman's on fresh so it's Rios just let it pass.
The Alfa Romeos indeed swap positions. It's the question if the McLarens will swap positions as well.
Absolutely smart thing to do.
This is the best thing to do, I think. Dragon of Speed there picked up a penalty, and Tomo Tiptop indeed goes out of the way for his teammate. So Dragon now continues to chase down Leon. And also a bit of a gap between himself and Warrior Huntsman, as Warrior Huntsman picks up a penalty and got a very good run on Tomo Tiptop. Does he go for an audacious move there? Just doesn't. Maybe with a better exit he can get the McLaren on this straight. Does cover the inside a bit, goes onto the grass. And he just makes it stick. Great move there. Mark Wilson as well gets through on Riordan on those hard tires, really coming into life now. And Quick Killer pushing McConey through the last turn.
Warrior Huntsman is the one to watch. Fresh off, he's fast, he's rapid. Fastest lap that they go.
Probably now. Quick Killer McConey side to side into one. McConey just on the outside has to back off. And Leon probably wanting to make a move on McConey, and he does. On the inside, Dragon Speed positions his car very well. Also gets through on McConey, and Warrior Huntsman just has to stay back there. But now he is going through. McConey just having none of it.
They pushed Warrior Huntsman into the wall. Hope he doesn't have damage.
It was very close. There was definitely some contact there. I think the Alfa Romeos is fine to continue. Warrior Huntsman just doesn't follow Dragon and Leon through on the Haas, but maybe now.
He's gone deep. He's got a good run.
Goes into the slipstream.
Bit
of contact again.
He's not helping the race at all.
It is not. Warrior Huntsman getting probably a bit frustrated here behind the Haas car. Leon making a move on Quick Killer, but Leon has gone a bit deep, so that allows Quick Killer to get through again. And of course Quick Killer, if he can make those mediums last, he doesn't have to pit as well.
He's doing a good job, is he?
He is. Checking with a bit of a slide in the last corner. And Leon now very easy pass, probably on Quick Killer. Definitely is.
That's taking candy from a baby at DRS.
There's nothing Quick Killer can do there. Warrior Huntsman though. Third time's the charm on McConey, going into the inside. Just a bit wary.
In the touch, just a bit.
Still there. With the switchback. Does he get a better line into here?
He's feeding each other for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, it's been a great battle. Warrior Huntsman thinking about setting it to the inside there. Just thinks the better of it. But now with the ERS right open, he goes into the inside here. Into turn 9. Very rare place to see an overtake happen, and it doesn't happen. McConey just sticks it around the outside. But now McConey has lost a DRS assistance to Dragon on speed. So Warrior Huntsman is in a better position to overtake him easily now.
He's got the DRS, surely.
Dragon as well making a move on Quick Killer on the stage straight.
Doesn't go for it.
It's a bit too far back. and being behind Quick Killer has made Dragon on Speed lose the DRS to Leon.
I bet Warrior Huntsman's getting frustrated because the softs are probably wearing off now. He's not going to have that pace advantage that he had just right after the restart.
Probably is probably the fastest man on track if he was in clean air.
He's got a really good run on Marconi though.
Looks like he is gonna make it stick this time. Marconi though still on the
Marconi
inside.
None of it.
Oh,
and they've touched and he's tired. Warrior
Huntsman was round. I think he got on the curb and just came back to Marconi, who just was an innocent bystander. Marconi has gone into the wall as well. Very lucky to keep his car intact.
Yeah,
definitely. So both after making light contact a couple of times, and there's not a safety car.
Another safety car. It didn't look malicious though, did it? I think they were just battling and just touched.
It was very hard racing, but probably on the edge, but not over it. And yeah, Warrior Huntsman spinning across the track, very tricky traction zone.
That's one for the stewards. Fortunately, we don't have to do it.
That is true. That is not our job, luckily.
They'll be the judge of that. But
let's have a look
this is
the penalties.
Would you, if you were quicker, would you go to the pits now?
Yes. And as does Dragon. So Dragon goes for the alternate strategy on his rival Leon. And Quick Killer behind him also heads into the pit lane. But a lot of drivers
if you go now to the softs,
staying out.
I reckon Fresh Charles will make it to the end.
I think Soft will make it.
Because it will be another 2 laps before the safety car comes in. So you're going to have to do like 11 laps. I think. Yeah. If the maths are right.
Something around that. But it's very interesting. Only Dragon and Quick Killer from the front runners heading into the pit lane. So they are very far behind now.
Dragon's also a lot of positions, so he's gone on to mediums. That's not... I wouldn't have done that myself. But that's how it goes. Quick Killer's looking good.
Yes, and that's Fresh Soft. We saw with Warrior Huntsman how fast they can be. Now the only driver who didn't visit the pit lane yet is Thomas Tiptop in P2. And he has gained the most positions as well from it, 16 to be exact. But Riordan has been a very good race, 12 positions gained. But he has a very old medium tires.
The others around him get a 3-second penalty because I think there'll still be like more penalties given out because it's such a tight track. I'm actually surprised by the amount of penalties that accumulated at the moment because it's known to be a really tough track on track limits, even on spots where you wouldn't expect it.
That is true. Of course, just over half the race done.
I'm rooting for my Alfa Romeo teammate.
One of them just crashed out, of course, so that's not the...
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It didn't look malicious from either side, just... Obviously, it's a low traction zone. Turn 4, turn 5, I think, and...
Turn 3, I think, the traction was.
It's touched, and one just lost traction. That's how racing goes. And Marconi actually has gone to hards, which is a surprising tactic.
It's interesting to see. He definitely can make it towards the end on those tires.
He definitely.
But he won't be the fastest, of course. Maybe just pick up some scraps.
We shouldn't forget what I said half an hour ago. Is that the rain can still come into play a factor. He's looking dark, isn't it?
It is. It wasn't even bad couple of laps ago, but now the clouds really starting to settle in. And maybe Tomo Tiptop is just gambling on those wets to stay out until the rain period, go into intermediates, and just do a non-stop.
Same goes for Mark and Riordan. Big brains there.
If it pays off, it would be a very good strategy.
The comments are saying the same thing. Yeah, Nathan's going to look like it's going to rain soon.
Exactly.
It does.
That
When
can,
will we see the first
that
drop?
can throw a curveball into it. It's probably the safety car is coming in this lap.
Probably didn't even matter for McConaughey which tyres he's going to take if the rain's going to come in anyway. If
That's
I were
true.
him, I'd just bet on an early pit stop. And what's Leon doing?
He is going very slowly, and it
He
has
is.
caught some drivers out at the back. And just at the beginning of the safety car, you were saying very few
Oh,
penalties, but now Mark Wilson,
that's got a lot of
AFL,
drivers.
Jacko, and Gautier Levellon all got a 5-second penalty, as is McConey, because Leon went very slow.
I think I know he's allowed to dictate the pace, but I think he just went too slowly there. I don't think he's allowed to dictate the pace from all the way he just did.
AFL picking up another 5 second. Let's just see on board with Tom Tiptop when Leon decides to go, and he already has gone. And Tom Tiptop very far back, almost already out of the DRS. Jacko looking to make a move. And he is making a move. Gautier Levellon going into the pit, so he probably picked up front wing damage with that bizarre incident on when the safety car came in. Jacko now making a move to the inside of Tom Tiptop, just lifting off just before the braking zone to not make a silly move and lose his front wing or losing any positions.
Quick Killer's already gained a position, I think.
And Tom Tiptop with a with probably a little loss of traction, falls down into P6 on those old medium tires. Very tricky.
Oh,
track,
and there's a spin at the back. Dragon's gone round.
He has. It's very fortunate for him. He looked very good after qualifying first in as well. Don't know if there was any.
Really wasn't smart to go into the pit, was it?
It probably was the wrong choice to go into the medium tires, especially if you know the rain is gonna come.
Quick Hitter's a man on a mission though. He's already gained like 2 positions in 1 lap.
Soft tires really looking good. McConey getting past his teammate, look like Team Orders there. Probably the wisest thing to do. Now through the train. The guys with a 5-second penalty will have to serve it in the pit when they go onto the wet tires. So it really doesn't come into play. It will be investigated after the session, I think.
I think all of them are guilty. If anyone was guilty, Leon, because he slowed the pack down massively.
Indeed it is. Of course, with safety cars, restart is very tricky to give the leader blame. As we saw in Mugello as well with Bottas, as McConey has gone round. I think he just kept it out of the walls though.
Yeah, he's still driving.
His front wing looks intact as well.
Dragon's actually the spin wasn't that bad for his time. He's only like 5 seconds behind.
That is true, of course. 5 seconds he didn't want. Quick Killer now making a move on Hedgehog into turn 9. Does he go for it? He is later on the brakes, hopping over the curbs, and he does make it. That's a very nice move. And it isn't in the place you often see a move happening, but Hedgehog has got the toe now. Does he make a move into here? No, he doesn't. And it's Quick Killer up another position on the safety car. After the safety car.
He's a man on a mission, isn't he?
He's looking very fast, already 3/10. Only behind Christopher. So maybe with a good run, of course, in sector 3 on those grippy soft, he can. Very close now to the back. DRS is enabled on this lap, but it isn't quite for Quick Killer yet. Christopher use a little bit of that ERS, looks like. Just pull away from Quick Killer, and that's a spin from Quick Killer.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Just touched the wall, I think, with his front wing.
I don't think he has damage, though. It doesn't look like it.
I don't think he has, but
he's got warm tyres though, should watch out.
It does the curve there very tricky on the inside of turn 2. Caught out a lot of drivers. McConey with not a 5-second time penalty. Those 5 seconds really adding up to the drivers here today.
Leon's having a blast though.
Pulling away 2 seconds.
Are we gonna see rain though?
The clouds are getting very
You
dark,
tell
but
me.
there's only 9 laps to go.
Yeah, but it can change so quickly, can it? Can't it?
It can, especially in this game. But on the other hand, sometimes it just takes so long for it to really get the track wet. And that is the case in the most scenarios, so I don't think it is going to be time for intermediates, maybe at the very end. But it will be very slippery for the drivers, especially those who are on worn tires. And this doesn't come into the play of Tom Tipton, who still has to make
Quick good run on McConey. He's got the fresh offs. McConey's got the fresh hard spot. No chance.
Exactly, McConey getting flashbacks of those fresh softs now. I've seen enough of them. And there are a few battles developing for P2, a train of 4 cars, as is the case for P6, just dragging along in the DRS train. It's really hard to catch up to this DRS trains, especially on this track, with 3 DRS zones. Really hard to pull away. As I was saying, that Riordan has fallen back a bit from Mark Wilson, of course. The hard tires under that Alpine car coming into play now, 19 laps old. But that is when the hards are at their best. And the Eclipse just dropping off a bit. Mazels is closing in on Riordan as AFL makes a move on Timo Tiptop away ahead of turn 1. And I think
Mazzel's got a good run on Riordan. He's got past him for the braking zone, so.
Tom Tiptop just staying behind AFL, of course. AFL with that DRS, dragging on speed.
Easy as you'd like.
Going past Hedgehog, but Hedgehog braking a bit later, going into the back of him. Quickkiller, I think, also made contact with the Mercedes car.
Oh no, Mark Wilson's got a 3-second penalty.
That definitely won't help him. Up to 11
I think he's got
seconds.
6.
So
That means he's got 6 now. Yeah.
it does. I
Oh,
think
that's rain.
that's rain. it was a bit weird. It's just a lot of rain, and then suddenly now it is dripping. So the rain has come. 7 laps to go. Are we gonna see the Inters?
I'm telling you, the weather can change so quickly in this game. It's unbelievable what the driver's gonna do.
Quickkiller getting a very good run through turns 11 and 12 on track speed.
We've got a
Getting
race
that
on our
position.
hands, lads. But you have to remember as well, all the guys at the front are on wooden tyres. That won't help in the rain. There's already less grip. Each lap it just gets worse and worse. Especially
those
through-
hards.
Especially through turn 1, it's just such a long right-hander and so many places where you can just lose grip. But here, Mark Wilson's got a run on Jacko.
On the
Doesn't
outside,
go for it.
Set aside. It doesn't.
Tom
Tip
Tiptop,
top.
very good.
Lead. Tom Tiptop just staying ahead. On very worn medium tires. He still has to pit, so he definitely hopes the weather is gonna change very quickly. Going all over the back of Hedgehog. The Quickkiller now is probably if he wasn't the fastest man on track, he probably is now. With the rain, the softs just very easy to warm up
Absolutely.
compared to the other compounds.
It's so annoying in the rain as well, you can't really undercut anyone unless the rain massively changes over the lap. Because if you go into early, those tyres are going to overheat.
Cracker with
And
a
you'll be
very
left stranded.
with a bit of a moment coming out of turn 12, just went a bit too wide.
It's probably still too dry to go in, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
Everything stays out.
It's a long way off the intermediate conditions.
I think next lap it might just be wet enough.
The track still looks very dry. So Mazels has a bit of a moment coming out of turn 1.
Yeah. All good though.
It is Mazels of Quick Killer. And a very good run on Christophe, but he ran into the back of him. With a more ERS advantage though, he makes the move stick.
It's a good move. Quick Killer's on a mission.
Without any penalties as well. He's looking very good for a good result here. Currently in a net P7 with the 3-second penalties of the cars ahead. He's rejoining now for the battle for P2. Can we maybe see a move from Mazels on Mark Wilson. Very close through the chicane. It's very slow now with the rain coming in. Mark Wilson is low on ERS. I think Mazels is just a bit too far back. Yep. Just brakes early enough. And after the last couple of laps, I think Jacko really closes in on Leon Quickular, making a move on Crego, and Christophe and Dragon on speed, going side to side into sector 3. Not really a place where you see them battling, but it is kept very clean as a Ferrari heads into the pit lane.
It's all tipped up. It's going to pits as well.
Are they going for that intermediate tires? That's the question.
He's gone to softs. He's gone to softs.
He has. He doesn't think it's gonna be wet enough, but Crego does. He is on the intermediates.
I wish you could compare the times to everyone else, but unfortunately you can't. But gonna be very interesting to see if he's gonna be the fastest one on the track. If he's faster than Tomo Tip Top, that means he's the fastest one.
Just keep the gap on the leader. Seeing if Crego closes in, but I think it's still too early for this intermediate. Looking at how far he's dropping back now. Let's just see the grip on the tires. It is way too early for the intermediates. I think it's a wrong gamble. He's losing a lot of time. Checking on speed, getting past Christophe.
He's losing a lot of time.
It probably wasn't the right choice just yet.
Doesn't look like he's got the confidence as well.
It's very hard to have confidence on a dry track with wet tires though. It's a bit too much confidence.
Oh, he's just yellow flag in sector 3.
That is Hedgehog having a disaster weekend. Round again at turn 11 and turn 12.
Doesn't rejoin safely, does he there?
He doesn't really, but luckily the ghosting system does work this time.
Crego is still losing time. He's just lost 3 seconds.
It's almost 7 seconds back from Tomo Tip Top. Really too early, but Mark Wilson now side to side with Jacko. Going into turn 4. Jacko just ahead, but Mark Wilson has the better line.
These tires are so
Ian Stevens. Mark Wilson, a lot of grip there through the fast right hand, and Jacko just giving him nowhere to go. Both a bit under grass, Hedgehog in the pit as well. Just to see what tires he goes on.
Softs as well.
I think that is the right choice.
Crego on 6 seconds now.
Not wet enough. Don't tip up gaining a lot on Mean Moody as well. The battle for P2 is heating up. Gosen, does he have a run here? Jacko with a lot more ERS. Just the Alpine driver stays behind. Don't tip up making the move on Mean Moody, but in doing so he does pick up a 3-second penalty. And that is Mean Moody round as well. Just speaking of the devil.
Definitely going wet now though, you're seeing small patches on the track.
It is.
But Crego's still losing time. That could be down to the fact that his tires are already wearing out from being on a too dry track.
That could definitely also be the case. I don't think. Ooh, quick killer, and he just couldn't quite catch the car there. He got 2-3 moments of just oversteer and put it into the wall.
He's got no front
Just
wing.
following
That's
AFL
a true
both
start.
with a tricky exit and quicker in the wall. He looked very promising, but
Dragon is
it all
back
is
to
gone.
P7.
Making moves after the wrong strategy goal and the spin. Jet looking on board with Dragon, just braking a bit too late and going off track. Just shows how tricky these conditions are. Craig is still losing time. Indeed, the puddles are starting to form on track. So it's definitely around the crossover point, but I dare to say it's still slick time. It will be interesting to see if Leon is the first one from the top
Somehow
guys to
Craig is still losing time. But it's going to be so important for Leon as well. Does he pit? Does he not pit? Because you never know when the guys behind you pit. Because it's looking like Interweather now to me.
On the other hand though, it is only one lap after this one. So if you don't pit, you've played very safely, and AFL and Riordan going side to side into the one, and AFL making that move stick up to P5, but he is fully on the grass there. Interesting lines. But he is fully ahead of the Alfa Romeo. But now going into the gravel, he really misjudged that braking zone. Riordan he does keep it on track. So he gets past AFL again. And now he has to try again, does the Red Bull driver. Does have one more chance. Quick killer also on the
26 lap
intermediates.
old mediums. What a legend.
Wow, really dragging the car along. In strict conditions on mediums that are as good as dead.
This is medium weather, surely.
It
But
does
Craig
look
is
like
still
it.
losing time.
I think both slicks and intermediates are roughly around the same pace now. But I think it's too late to go on intermediate tires for the top guys. Only one lap to go after this one. Marconi making a move on Christophe. But he has a penalty, so he has to gap the Mercedes driver to actually gain that position as well after the race. Gusen was very close on Jacob, but I think he has made a mistake in sector 3. And now Mazzles is all over the back of him. Riordan chooses to go into the pit on the last lap of the race.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Clearly didn't have faith in those old medium tires. On the intermediate he goes. I think that's a very wrong call.
That's a weird one. I'm telling you. You drive to the pits by
definitely
mistake.
cost him some positions.
Cost 4.
Does look very good for him. Marconi into the wall on those old hard tires in the wet conditions. It's
He better
definitely
one back.
he will.
No, never mind.
It's the
He's
other one.
gone wide.
Now it all settles down, everyone's separated once again. So I think this is how the race is going to finish, with Leon on top.
Yep, I think so as well. That's baffling. Why did we all go into the pits?
It's a very good question. Intermediate tires maybe are the faster one at the moment, but
Oh, he's winning
there was
time, yeah, but
there's only one lap to go. And DRS is disabled, but Leon on the medium tires rounds the final corner of the training complete. He almost let start the finish, and he wins the opening round in Australia with Jacko in P2 and Mark Wilson in P3 on track. Let's see with how penalties unfold, of course, with that safety car restart. Maybe Dragon is on the podium. He is, just by a tenth. On the professional podium. Great drive after a wrong strategy call. Pinning on the medium tires at the second safety car.
We were on P9. Weird strategy call at the end.
Definitely lost him a lot of positions. Once in P5, ends up in P9 now. Got the level on in P10. So the intermediate tires are now definitely faster, but it was just a bit too late for those guys. Quick killer in P13. After
yeah, like Nathan
pace.
says, I think there's quite a few 5-second penalties that were removed.
Yeah,
So,
that's definitely the case.
Did you keep a record of who's got the 5 seconds?
I did not. I think Mark Wilson has one. I don't know from the top of my head who we can see at the end of the race.
Well, how did you find that race?
Very interesting, especially at the end of the race, with the rain coming in. Tom Tip-Top giving the driver of the day. After he was in a very high position at the end of the race. Of course, some safety cars as well. So a lot of action, both at the front and at the midfield at the end of the pack. But Leon really just dominated the whole weekend. It's fair to say. Apart from his pit stop, he led every lap. Of course, Fandango had the pole position, but turn 1 already lost that one. Let's see at the penalties. Yeah, it's Mark Wilson. He did have 5 seconds. I think AFL had 10 seconds of penalties. So that promotes Mark Wilson to the podium. So I think that the podium will be Leon, Jacko and Mark Wilson with Dragon in P4. Mazels in P5. Or AFL maybe can sneak his way up into there. 10 seconds removed. He will. So AFL in P6, Christopher in P7, Tomek Tip-Top in P8, Riordan in P9, Gautier Levelon in P10, McConey just outside of the top 10 in P11, finishes where he started, Craigo in P12, Quick Killer with a fast lap in P13, and Hedgehog and Mean Moody. The last two of the finishers and the last two of the podium of the points getters. Okay, we invite the podium sitters for the interview.
Yeah, I'm just having a Riordan. Apparently, I think because you went mediums, you probably got the message because your DRS was only disabled in the last lap. You probably got the message he'd be disqualified.
That is true. So that explains a lot why he went into the pit. Unlucky for him.
Right, so who would the podium sitters? Dragon on speed?
Leon, Jacko, and I'd say Mark Wilson. Maybe Dragon on speed as well. Because it's either one of them on that third step of the podium.
Yeah, we'll just do what the thing says.
Yeah, okay.
How do you spell the names?
It's you can go into the player mat tab. And they'll pop up in there as well.
Oh yeah. Noob. Leon, Dragon, and just
Jacko. First B2.
Ah.
If you wanna do the interviews.
Absolute.
I'll leave that over to you. Just wait a bit for the guys to join. If they are interested, of course, in being interviewed.
If not, that's fine. Oh.
And there is our race winner.
We have a race winner.
Hello, hello.
Please make sure your voice is on shared.
Always allow, yeah, it should be fine.
Okay, lovely.
How was your race? Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, very fun.
That was a good race. That did you expect to win today?
I expected the podium, maybe not the win. Especially
fair
after
enough.
seeing qualifying.
Well, you were fast though through the whole qualifying. Q1, you were already top 3. So
I mean, could have been better, honestly, but I'm not complaining.
fair enough. Did you see what happened towards the safety car restart? When you the one you led, you slowed down quite a bit and it caused a bit of a pileup towards the back. Did you?
It wasn't any issues. It was just the game wouldn't let me speed up because of just backing me off from the safety car. It was just I had zero control under it, so I was pausing maybe to see how that didn't work. Still slow.
Oh, fair enough. Well, congrats on the win anyway. I mean, you've driven really consistent. Didn't get any penalties like the others, so congrats, man.
Appreciate it.
I
did
don't
Dragon
know.
Finish?
P3, but I think Mark Wilson got a 5-second penalty from the safety car thing from the touch-in, so he'll probably get that removed. So I think it's you, Mark, and
Jacko.
someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, Jacko P2 probably. Next week then it's France. How are you expecting that one?
France, I think I can win that. Honestly, I'm not being serious. It's one of my favorite tracks. As long as I get some practice in by next Monday, I think I have a solid shot winning it.
Fair enough. You've probably got the confidence now, as you've won today. Are you? Is this your first season zero or second?
Oh, this is my second full season.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great start to it.
Obviously it is.
Yeah.
Well, congrats anyway. I don't think the rest are going to join. So,
Does look like it.
before we conclude the stream,
I think we will. Well, thank you all for
appreciate
watching.
unless you've got any comments, Leon.
I don't. I really don't. I just have a good night. I'm going to sleep. This race made me very tired.
Fair enough. Oh, just one more question. Were you thinking about paying for Inters towards the end?
No, not at all.
Fair enough. Because obviously it can push you to pit as well if the guys behind you pit, but it wasn't wet enough, was it?
It was wet enough on the last lap, but what's the point of pitting on the last lap?
That's true. Yeah, one reordered member actually went to the pits because he went mediums, and it wasn't declared a wet race until last lap when the DRS was disabled. So he got the message from, if you don't pit, you'll be disqualified. So he had to pit again for softs.
That's just unlucky. It's really unlucky.
That's F1 for you. But alright, congrats.
Oh, thank you. Have a good one.
You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that concludes the stream. Thank you for joining me, Mike.
Ja, geen probleem.
And,
Ik heb genoten.
Thanks all for watching.